income seniors with students, especially students in disadvantaged schools. So we have 2 foster grandparents. Goal 2, school culture and climate. We have, Hawk Store, Hawk Bucks. We have a football team that I think is like winning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, winning.
Can I ask you a question? What was the score on that last game? 35-0. Fantastic.
35-0.
Yes.
So, so that's very exciting. We have a volleyball team that's practicing and their season starts very soon. We have a cheer squad. They're busy cheering away. We have a mascot, and you saw in the first picture that our hawk mascot, very exciting. We have school-wide assemblies and such. Goal 3, parent and community involvement. You can see the plethora of activities that we have for our parents. We just finished a 6-day, I think it is? 6-day, Miss Dawn? 6-day book fair? 6-day book fair, and we raised $4,000. So that's like super exciting, and then it's super kind of woo, because at 2,500, Mr. Gonzalez and I are going to have to do some terrible thing. And I said I'd be open. I forgot to tell you this. I said I'd be open, we'd be open to anything. I'm not going to shave my head, and I didn't want to go into a dunk tank, but that leaves a huge array of things that they can do to us. So I put off shopping until today because I didn't want to contribute to my demise. So I figured by today I was doomed, so I went in and spent a good amount of money at the book fair. But anyway, so you can see our community partners are many of the partners that I mentioned earlier in the programs that we have and the agencies that we're partnering with. And so at this point, if there are questions or comments that Mr. Gonzalez or I can answer?
You might have some board members up here.
Would you define ST math?
Yes. It's Mind Research. Mind Research is the company, and actually it was developed out of UC Irvine, and the mastermind behind Mind Research incorporated like neuroscience with the brain and children learning math. And he found that when you present math in a very visual way versus the paper pencil that we do with Eureka Math and the expression and the inquiry and all that, that if we present math in a very visual way, then that part of the brain is engaged. And I don't have a real deep understanding because I kind of just came into this, but I had heard of Mind Research, and I don't know what the S and the T stand for, but...
Spatial and temporal.
Thank you. Spatial and temporal.
And it's all about Gigi the penguin.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is, I've known about it, and it is like the Cadillac of supplemental math programs.
So the beauty of ST Math is it's highly successful, and I've seen it in Santa Clara schools all over the place, in many of the Silicon Valley schools. And Gigi is the penguin that leads all those lessons. But beyond that is any student, regardless of their language level, are able to excel through this math program. It is not language dependent. And so that's another great aspect of the program beyond the research that is finding it to be highly successful.
And it's really interesting because just the student password, their login password, is this array of shapes and colors and visuals. There's no like login with letters and numbers. So very interesting.
Thank you.
Any other questions from board members?
All right, thank you very much.
And I want to underscore, thank you very much. I want to underscore the work of the cheerleaders. How many were there? 20 of them? 17. 17. Okay, I miscounted. I'm going to take that program over there. Okay. Laurel Wood, please. I apologize for just making a mistake. It's good to see you again.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent. I'd like to introduce some staff members I have here first, since everyone else. We have Ms. Konanen and Ms. Campbell there representing us, so let's give them a round of applause. And introduce my vice principal the first time that Laurelwood has had a full-time vice principal, so I'm really excited. And we're going to kind of split the slides up. So this is Laurelwood School, home of the Dolphins. If you look at the picture, there are some things going on. Fill Someone's Bucket is a thing we have going in our staff lounge. At the end of my presentation, if you want to see what it is, you can log on your own. It's more of a positive thing and helping teachers praise each other. Western Stage came and did a presentation, and it was interactive, so our students got to interact with the Western Stage people. We also sent some students along with Jennifer's to the authors fair, so we're really building in culture. And then the bottom was our Laurelwood School Beautification Day held on Saturday, September 26, 2015. We had about 35 kids and about 40, 45 parents. We had about 80 kids. We worked all day, we barbecued, and the campus looks really nice. I have to thank our maintenance department over here, because they're adding to the beauty of the school with benches and tables after we've cleaned it up. So that was just a wonderful experience. Plus, we built some community relationships. We had over $600 worth of donations come in from Orchard Supply, Home Depot, Valley Pallet, Shane's Nursery, and Sunbelt Rentals. They let us have a Bobcat to use during the day. So we had a lot of fun. Oh, oops.
Next, please.
Which one do I click?
It's the one on the right side of the.
Okay.
I'll just do it for you.
What? Okay, magic. There's our mission, and the blue is what I want to, we strive to create a caring community of learners, high academic standards, filling of autonomy, belonging, and competency. And we want them ready for the 21st century. That's our mission. We have 539 students, and kind of if you look at it, we have about a 79% Hispanic Latino, but out of that, 30% of those are still English language learners. We have a large portion of ours that have been redesignated and are working on that, and we're going to be redesignating a few more. What surprises me about this is our homeless, and I said, how does Laurelwood have 22% homeless? And we have about 113 students of our population that are living with other members of the family or with their grandparents or that, so they're considered homeless. And Ms. Kameny is helping our kids, and we can do that. And then we have our foster and our migrant population is very, very low. And improve student achievement. I'm going to say our goals, and I'll let her take over. When we looked at all of our CAST testing data, it turns out that we averaged about 25.75% in 3rd through 6th grades who met or exceeded the standards. Our goal is to get 35% of them will meet or exceed standards by the end of this year. So we have a goal, a set goal. In math, which was low throughout our district, we had 18.5% of 3rd and 6th grades met or exceed standards, and we're seeking the goal of 30% will meet or exceed standards. Our teachers are feeling more comfortable, but it is a tough program, and it takes a lot. And then I'll let Ms. Foster tell us some of the things we're doing.
Okay, so through the district, we're working on the individual learning folders, the rewards program, Imagine Learning, System 44, SNAP, and GLAD, and our Thank you, Phonics for Reading program. But what we plan to do outside of the things the district are helping with is advertise for an after-school certificated reading tutor. We have 10 parent and grandparent volunteers who help students and teachers. Our best is trying to align curriculum with teachers on homework and other assignments. And we have 3 aides to support students full-time. And we also have full-time vice principal this year. And in math, number 1, the teacher collaboration and professional development is focused on the Eureka Math Series. And then on number 2, we have 4 teachers that are involved in the math grant. Number 3, kinder teachers are assisting math classes with taking small groups. So that's where that combination thing came in that Mrs. Barnes was talking about earlier. We have a 4-5, and then so we ended up making just a straight 4th and a straight 5th, but it increased our 5th grade classes quite a lot. So the kinder teachers in the afternoon are going in and being assistants with that and helping the 5th grade teachers teach. And then also for math, we'll be advertising for an after-school certificated math tutor. And then again, we have 10 parent, grandparent volunteers who are helping students and teachers. And what we really try to work with, and this is really teachers took the lead in this, there are no combination math classes at Laurelwood.
Even though we have combination.
Right, we have four combo classes.
Kind of just to add on that, how our kindergarten teacher who sends her kids home in the morning, she's taken all the first graders for math. So we split up the combination so we don't have any. Our teachers have really worked hard together. Goal 2 is create a positive, well-maintained learning environment. And we have some goals. We want to improve our daily attendance from 96 to 97, and we get 97% this first month, so I'm really happy. We want to lessen our tardies, which is something that is an issue. We want to reduce our truancy from 19 to 12%. We're getting into PBIS now. We'll be doing our first year training. We have restorative justice, sticks and stones working with students, a ward assembly, school leadership council. We're working on getting that started. We have behavioral specialists coming from the county and our district. Doing home visits, truancy mediation, community projects, and parent nights. So these are all the things we want to do to help make Laurelwood the best place to be. And improve parent and community involvement. And as you look, most of the schools, we're all trying to get the parents involved. So we're having our parent education nights. We're going to start doing some parent surveys to see what they want. We're going to be doing a monthly cafecito, and we're starting them in October. In the morning, we bring the parents in, and we'll do some professional development with the parents, like a big one's the new math series, because the biggest question we have is they come in, they go, I don't know how to help my child with math. So we can do some workshops for them. Parent conferences, fall and spring. We have monthly PTC, SC, and ELAC. And then we're going to do some community events, our fall and spring beautification days, spring carnival, movie nights, fundraisers, pastry with parents. Our PTC wants to do that. And our book fair is coming up. And these are community partners that we've already built, and some of them we're building on more. Because they're all local. They all represent us in our community. Questions or comments? You can see Ms. Boswell and I are hard at work.
Do you want us to call, or you want us to email you? Okay, any questions from the board? Okay, Superintendent, a comment? Superintendent, you have a comment?
Thank you for your.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Exhibit it. Thank you. Lopez, correct?
Yes, it is. Good evening, Superintendent Martinez. Good evening, President Garcia and board members. I'm the new principal, Liz Lopez from Natividad School, and I must say we are thriving this year. I'd like to welcome our teachers who are on board here, Ms. Trujillo, Ms. Walker, and Ms. Mendoza. Thank you for your support. And of course, Ms. Stone, thank you. I'd like to present our demographics. First of all, we have 680 students as of now. 95% of these are Hispanic or Latino. 68.9% are English language learners. It's a huge number. 98% are socioeconomically disadvantaged. 16% of those are homeless, 5% are students with disabilities. What do we have planned for academic achievement? We have a lot going on. First of all, we have our Saturday Academy. We have science classes going on, technology, and we have literacy. Thank you, Ms. Martinez, for visiting. We appreciate that. We have after-school programs going on. We are targeting literacy, phonics for reading. We have instructional assistants we hired to push in and help with the literacy and reduce the number of students teachers have to work with at one time. We've hired 3 full-time teachers to reduce our combination classes. Of course, we have Kinder Pushin', we have Monterey County Reads, professional development for our staff, libraries. Our libraries are open before school. And of course, we have RIF. Now, if you could notice in this picture, this is one of our science classes. Right in that little plate, they're demonstrating the phases of the moon. Those look like cookies, but actually, you see the full moon, there's a half moon. It's an awesome project-based program. Culture and climate. We know that we have to bring our students in. We know that we have to be prepared. We know that we have to make school enjoyable. So what do we have for our students? We now have school-wide reward incentive plans. We have AR, accelerated reader incentive plans, school-wide behavior assemblies on a monthly basis. Just looking at our school data, that is what's required and that's what we're doing. We have a sports program, of course. We have a student store that is getting off the ground. We target behaviors, positive behaviors, by having weekly raffles. Of course, we have lunch and recess activities. We have assemblies such as Western Stage Theater and Mobile Dairy Lab. And because I'm leading the way into the 21st century, I've integrated a couple of videos here. So Lydia, if you can click on the first one.
Gary could give us calcium. Let's say calcium. Good. Last word is classroom. Now, boys and girls, are we in a classroom? Oh, well, guys, boys and girls, just like your teachers have classroom expectations, I have 3. How many? 3. Okay. Well, number 1, very simple. I need you to stay seated on.
That's a small clipping, and because I was told we only have 5 minutes. Next.
Oh, she got scared. Oh, she was there you are. Be respectful, please. Guys, be respectful. Remember?
Nice to run and follow.
Hello.
Okay, you guys want to come up? You guys go on this side? You guys want to better? Let's try right up there. And then
And then over here.
And wide over that way, you guys.
And then over here. Go on this way, sweetie. Go on this way, guys. Go, go, go.
For our parents and community outreach, we've started a program that targets the parents of our kinder students. We have a program led by our kinder teachers and our vice principal, Susana Marquez, who is currently at our football game supporting our students. But they're targeting our kinder students, our kinder parents, they're bringing them in, and we're providing a parent motivational literacy night. Those are the parents we want to grow with and target. We have family math and science nights. We have Rosetta Stone. Our parent coordinator is bringing in our parents who speak Spanish to offer them that program to teach them English. We have parent educational classes to support and promote healthy family dynamics, which is quite necessary. Child safety awareness, another necessary program. Of course, we have parent coordinator, Harmony at Home, movie nights, and our school website. So I have to thank our Salinas district for providing that opportunity to have a website, but to have a website that is running with various programs is an opportunity to reach out to everybody. Our mission at Natividad School, we believe all students can learn. The students, parents, and staff of Nativity Elementary will create a positive and productive environment that instills in each child the strength of character, a sense of community, and the love of learning. And lastly, I have this incredible video that was created by one of our 6th grade teachers. I have to give credit to our teacher, Mr. Burleson, for creating that. Questions, please.
Is she here?
Mr. Burleson? I don't believe he is.
No, he's not? Okay. We'll send him a thank you very much, too.
Indeed.
Fantastic. Okay, any questions from the board members? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank all three schools. Thank all 3 schools, and excuse my miswordage in there. And we're going to go into personnel. This is a quarterly report on the Williams uniform compliance. Okay. Who's going to do that?
I don't think it'd be easy up here to say we didn't find any. The issue is that you had uniform complaints, and there were none during that quarter, so we need to report that.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, other business, we don't have any right now. Okay, action items, I think turn that over to Martinez. Martinez, please. Item number 1 and number 2.
So, a couple of weeks ago, I was reading the EdCal, which is our California Association for School Administrators newspaper, and comes out at a state level. And I happened to read that this week is declared the week of the school administrator. So we have a resolution for tonight. And as we're playing this, as I'm reading the resolution, I'm going to give you some entertainment. So Liz, I have some competition for your video. I just want you to realize why, before we start that video, Lydia, can you just hold a second? So it was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks into the job. We had an administrative retreat, and it was the last day. And basically, I was given an hour at the beginning of that retreat, 3-day retreat, and an hour and a half at the end of the retreat to talk to the administrators, because the agenda was planned and I wasn't going to mess around with the plans at that particular point in time. But it was the last day of Friday afternoon, and we were doing a little book study on I don't know how many of you know Simple Truths, but they're little books, very easy reads. You can read a chapter in 3 minutes probably. And they're just simple truths around leadership concepts. But before we opened that book up, I had a series of quotes, and these are from different TV shows, such as Goodfellas. I shouldn't probably read this one, and I don't want Frank to have it on the camera. And when the cops, when they assigned the whole army to stop Jimmy, what did he do? He made them partners from the Goodfellas. And this is outrageous optimism. Attitudes are contagious. Cool Runnings, which came out in 1993, where it says the driver has to work harder than anyone. He's the first one to show up, and the last one to leave. And when his buddies are all out drinking, he's up in his room studying pictures of those turns. So there were quotes from different movies out there, and they were just really cool. But there was about 30 administrators in the room, and Yoda comes up with do or do not, there is no try. And I would say that 65 to 75% of the administrators, you can go ahead and start, picked this quote. So as we're putting this, you can kind of put a little bit volume down. I'm going to read the resolution, and you'll kind of get why Yoda is important. So this is how I spent 2.5 hours of my day today. So going around to schools to visit the administrators. So October 11th and 17th is the week of the school administrator. Whereas Salinas City Elementary School District Board of Education believes that leadership matters for California public educational systems for more than the 9,000 students it serves. Whereas, and I'm just going to say Salinas City, believes that administrators are passionate, lifelong learners who believe in the value of the quality of public education. Whereas the title school administrator is a broad term and can be defined in many educational leadership posts. Salinas City includes the superintendent, assistant superintendents, principals, assistant principals, special education and adult education leaders, curriculum and assessment leaders, school business officials, classified educational leaders, and all other district employees that are considered administrators. And whereas providing quality service for student service is paramount for our profession. And whereas Salinas City administrators began their careers as teachers, and many of us as classified folks. The average administrator has served in public education for more than a decade, and most California superintendents have served in education for more than 30 years, and this superintendent for over 35 years of educational service. Such experience is beneficial in their work to effectively and efficiently lead public education and improve student achievement. And whereas public schools operate with lean management systems across the nation, public schools employ fewer managers and supervisors in most public and private sectors, including transportation, food service, manufacturing, utilities, construction, publishing, and public administration. And whereas Salinas City depends on a network of support from its school communities, fellow administrators, teachers, parents, businesses, community members, boards of trustees, colleges and universities, community and faith-based organizations, elected officials, and district and county staff and resources to promote ongoing student achievement and school success. And whereas research shows that great schools are led by great principals and great districts are led by great superintendents, these leaders are supported by extensive administrative networks throughout the state. And whereas the state of California has declared the second full week of October as the week of the school administrator, in Education Code 44015.1, and whereas the future of California public education system depends on the quality of leadership, let it now be resolved that this board, that by the Salinas Board of Education, that all school leaders be commended for their contributions that they make to student achievement. So.
It's fantastic stuff. I mean, this is a roll call vote, and I'm asking for a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 2015/16-04 proclaiming October 11th through the 17th as week of the school administrator.
Okay, do I have a second to that motion? There's a second to the motion. Any discussion on the board? Okay, none. Okay, roll call.
A roll call vote for A's and A's, or no's, sorry. Okay, Roberto Garcia.
Yes.
Stephen Kim.
Aye.
Nathan Larson.
Aye.
And Janet Barnes. Foster Hoffman.
He's absent, and that's excused. Okay, that's 4-0, one absentee. Okay. Good. Very good.
We have a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lori and I, by the way, had the honor of going with Yoda around the district. Lori, don't you think it'd be important to know who that Yoda was?
Who is that Master Yoda?
And you showed up again?
It might have been Superintendent Martinez.
Why again?
Yes, it was quite, I think I look a little different than I did this morning. Okay, we have a second resolution for the Board of Education to consider, and this is National Bullying Prevention Month, so I'm going to ask Ms. Titus to come up and read the resolution.
Thank you.
Resolution 2015/16-05, proclaiming National Bullying Prevention Month. Whereas the Salinas City Elementary School District supports the right of students and staff to attend schools that are safe and free from violence, harassment, all forms of bullying and discrimination, and encourages our community to work together to stop bullying and cyberbullying by increasing awareness of the prevalence and impact of bullying. And whereas October is National Bullying Prevention Month, where we observe the need for development, implementation, and monitoring of policies and programs that address all forms of bullying, including physical, verbal, covert, and cyberbullying, and encourage our schools and communities to educate students, parents, and others about their role in bullying prevention. And whereas various researchers have concluded that bullying is the most common form of violence affecting children and has devastating effects such as school avoidance, loss of self-esteem, increased anxiety, and depression. And whereas it is essential to achieving the mission of public education that students are provided a safe and healthy school environment that ensures both the physical and emotional safety of students and staff and creates the conditions necessary to foster academic achievement. And whereas cyberbullying is on the rise due to the increased use of technology and includes harassment, impersonation, denigration, and exclusion, and can have a harmful impact on the school environment. And whereas the most effective approach to creating safe school environments requires a comprehensive, coordinated effort where districts, schools, and communities accept responsibility for their critical roles and collaborate to establish a positive environment for teaching and learning. Now therefore be it resolved, the Salinas City Elementary School District does hereby adopt resolution number 20/16-05 in support of National Bullying Prevention Month and encourages local schools and community stakeholders to develop, implement, and monitor policies and programs that foster and support a positive, respectful school climate free from harassment, bullying, discrimination, and violence.
Any questions? Board members? Or comments? Presentation? I'm now open for a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 2015/16-05, proclaiming October as National Bullying Prevention Month.
Okay, so done. Go ahead, second.
Second.
Second, Kim. Okay, discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Oh, sorry, roll call. Sorry.
Resolution roll call.
Roll call.
Roberto Garcia.
Present, yes.
Oscar Hoffman, yes. Stephen Kim.
Aye.
Nathan Larson.
Aye.
Janet Barnes.
Okay. So we got 4-0, one absentee, and it's excused. Next item is action number C1, which is provisional leadership, internship permit. Okay. Who's going to take the action on this one?
I think I might be.
Okay.
Very briefly, there are 6 items for provisional intern permits. These are folks who have completed or passed the SCESD. They have experience in instruction. However, they have not passed the CSF. They're in training programs. And I'm going to move them forward as a group and just tell you what their name is and the school that they're at, the class that they're teaching. For an example, Rocky Reyes is assigned to a 5-6 combo class at University Park. The second one, Angelica Moreno Marines, is assigned to a 3rd grade class at Miranda Meadows. Ariel Carcega, 5th, 6th combo at El Gavilan. Elizabeth Barrow, assigned to special day class 3rd through 5th at El Gavilan. The 5th one, Sarah Marcelli, assigned to special day class 4 through 6 at El Gavilan. And the 6th one, Salvador Leon, a special day class 2 through 4 at Sherwood School. Again, I want to stress that these are new teachers. They are in teacher training processes. They are receiving support, and you've heard today an example of the academic coaches providing, like at the boot camp and other kinds of support for these folks. We'd ask you to approve these. They do require, by the California Commission on Teacher Credentialing, individual action. But I'd like to bring them as a group. Any questions?
Any questions from our board members? Think none? I'm open. Ms. Barnes, you go
So we
ahead.
need to do one at a time, we can't do them as a group, is that what you're saying? We can't go items 1 through 6.
I think you can bring them because it's open action in items 1 through 6.
1 through 6.
But it's perceived that they are individual action. In other words, you could have pulled one out and not approved them. So yes, I've taken forward.
So I'd like to make a motion for items C1 through 6 for provisional internship permit and educational specialist provisional internship permit.
So noted.
Second.
With a second, Kim, any discussion on the board? Okay, see none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You got a 4-0 on that with 1 absentee. That's excused. Business affiliation agreement, Truckwell, that's the Truckwell.
Mr. President, Trustees, Superintendent Martinez. Stand before you with an action item to approve the Chartwell's affiliation agreement, which would provide us with a dietetic internship program for this year. We enjoyed that privilege last year, and we do it because we're a very high-performing district. Chartwell's funds this program. It supplements any services we have in the district already. In fact, it adds things we don't have. It does not supplant anything, so there's no loss of any labor. We used the young lady we had last year very well. She's moved on, and Chartwell's has offered this to us again. There's no cost to the district, and there are good controls in terms of any potential behavioral issues. They screen their folks really well, and they're great. So I would ask for your approval if you have no questions.
Any questions? Board members? None? Okay. We have, you have any public comment here? Yes. Your name please for the record.
Rosie Sanchez with CSEA. And again, CSEA understands the importance of having interns for any type of employment. But we also want to recognize that an agreement is a contract, and wording in a contract is critical. Because of that, the very first whereas states Chartwell manages the food service department. And I think just that wording is in conflict with Ed Code 45103.5, Article A and B. And we're concerned that we don't recognize Chartwell as the person in charge of our food service department. We understand that the district still has not hired a food service supervisor, and CSEA is really concerned about that since there are concerns that are coming forward. We are trying to handle them, but we desperately want to know what is happening with that position. Why hasn't it filled food service supervisor? So I don't know, this first whereas comment is the one that I believe is in conflict with Ed Code. Thank you.
You want to comment on that? Okay.
We could pen and change the managers to advise us and move forward with it. I'd recommend that.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the board?
Yes,
Good.
Charles, wasn't you have a problem?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So is that considered an emotion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the affiliation agreement with the changes stated with the first whereas, which includes, could you state it again?
Chartwell's advises the food services department.
Advises
So that language would be correct.
Correct.
Second. There's a motion and a second. It's not roll call.
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So here, say that. I'm here. So, Larson? That's 4-0. 4-0. 4-0. Okay. Next time just waive it. Okay. Okay, good. And one absentee, which is excused. Okay, that's 4-0. Next item. Right here. This is a request for proposals for legal services, okay? I'm going to turn that over. Who's going to do the presentation? Okay. Stratton?
Again, good evening. This request for proposal for legal services would be fielded on a timeline to allow us to get the RFPs, or request for proposal submissions from any legal firms who are interested in providing these services by 28 October. That would then allow for an evaluation, and we could bring it back to the board for approval if we had a successful proposal. We have used a variety of legal firms, from individuals to small firms. We would continue to use some specialty firms for very specialized legal work, such as special education or contract law, but we would like to consolidate most of our legal expertise in one firm that would be our advisor. So this RFP would allow us to go forward and ask for those proposals from industry, from the legal industry.
Motion to approve business number 2, request for proposal for legal services.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
Second.
There's a second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We had public comment?
Comment, excuse me.
You already took the vote, so
So you can still make a comment, but
is it gonna change it though?
no, probably not.
What's the point?
We'll listen to you. We'll listen to you. You have a comment on it? We'd like to be interested.
I think you're supposed to open this up before you take the vote. But, you know, I do have some comments on your legal representation. Good legal representation is essential to good government. You have to trust that the lawyers who are giving you the advice are not putting their own self-interest first. We don't need a repeat of June 2014. Perhaps Ms. Martinez doesn't know what happened, but I will say for her benefit that in just over 30 days, this district incurred over $16,000 in legal fees. That was in 1 month's time. We have the invoices here. There was no pending legal challenge. There were no appeals being filed. If your lawyers truly believed at that time that the board was on good standing to take those actions, then the legal cost should have been significantly less. You know, also the CTA was forced to file a lawsuit against the school district back in 2008. That ended with a $3 million judgment that your lawyers kept telling this board to fight, even though the district broke the law. That's what generates revenue to outside law firms. Self-preservation is the interest of outside firms, not good government. With that in mind, I have some questions about this proposal. I know it's just an RFP, but in looking at the documents that you supplied to the board, Mr. Donaldson, on the proposal objective, there are 2 options: to either retain an in-house general counsel or continue the practice of using outside counsel. So if you're going to develop this list of qualified firms, you have this ambitious timeline of November 9th to make a decision on those options. I think before that happens, the public needs to see a breakdown of the cost for the last 5 years in legal fees versus, so that once you have that benchmark, you can make a true comparison of whether there's a better cost benefit to bringing that representation in-house. So that needs to be brought before you so you can make that comparison. On page 5, Under oral presentations, it states the law firms will be invited to a screening panel to respond to questions from panel members. What's the criteria for panel members to join? Who appoints them? What's the composition of the panel? Those questions are not answered in this document. On page, I highlighted this earlier, I'm sorry. 6, under employee relations, this isn't clear either. It says the lawyer you're going to hire will be responsible for representation on all matters related to certificated and classified collective bargaining. In the next bullet point, it says legal counsel does not sit in on bargaining sessions. So those two statements are incongruent with each other. Of course, I prefer the latter. You don't need a lawyer to bargain a contract. You just need a really competent HR professional. Finally, on page 8. Now, if you do receive any applicants for in-house counsel, I don't think we should be putting that person in the driver's seat to establish the salary and benefits package. The school board has the power to set that standard. I think you should be taking ownership of it based on the salaries of comparable positions in surrounding counties. You know, I deal with lawyers all the time in my line of work, so I've gotten really good at spotting the bad ones. My experience has shown that in-house attorneys are way more invested in developing relationships with their customers. And of course, the customers are parents, teachers, school administrators, union representatives. Most in-house attorneys want to keep the peace. They're not charging you by the hour, so they're salaried. This board needs to take a much closer look at all the other benefits that could be had with bringing that service in-house as opposed to contracting out. Because my experience has shown that contracted lawyers, they love dysfunction, so because it generates revenue for them.
Thank you very much for your comment. Yes, your name please for the record.
Cynthia Schaefer. I also would like to comment on your RFP proposal. My primary concern is the liability risk of the majority board, and kind of piggybacking off of what Mr. Garden had said, things come out, but it's not discussed. And even right now, there is a Brown Act violation that you were going to go into by not having public comment. It's important that you hear from the public, because there are some things that we may see that you might not see, and it's about collaborating and coming together and making the best decision for how we want to govern best for our children, so they'll have the best educational opportunities. And it is sad to say, though, since June of 2014, the fiduciary responsibility has been, it seems, set aside, and ergo, what has happened is your legal counsel bills have just skyrocketed. So one of my concerns is when you have in your RFP the question, or I have a question, what is the current annual fees from the existing firms? Because you're going to use that as a baseline in order to hire whoever it is you want to hire to come in and bring your legal counsel. It's not about consolidating services at this point in time. It's about how you are conducting yourselves and bringing in the legal counsel, because you're doing things that you're not quite sure about what you're doing, and so you want to make sure that you're legally covered. And so, as you know, I have put in some Public Service Act requests. Some of them have been honored, most of them have not, and that is, again, another legal responsibility on the board's end, the district's end, that it has not been honored. One of my requests was to have the warrants from Lozano Smith, and so for a certain point in time, I was given that information, and it was astounding what it is that you are billing out, or what it is that Lozano Smith is billing because of what you guys are doing.